But that's pending the approval by the Board of Supervisors of the recommendations by the Equity Committee. But if they approve it on the 21st is when that Board of Supervisor meeting is scheduled. We'll have our first meeting on the 27th. And then from then on out, every second Monday. Time? 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. This is a transitional ad hoc committee. So the period of service is going to be until the implementation lead that's selected establishes a 501c3 to help become the network, hires an executive director, and then assembles both a board of directors and a community council. At that time, this TCAP will then dissolve because we anticipate that that community council will perform most of the functions of this TCAP because it also will be comprised of people with relevant professional and lived experiences that are from throughout the county, and also by providing insight and real-time feedback on the development of the African American Holistic Wellness Network and Hub. So we think that'll take approximately about a year. So again, this is a limited duration for this TCAP. So that's, yes.
So, Pastor Neil. And so in operating in this TCAP, will they be able to transition to the board or to the community council?
Yeah, they can apply for those positions.
Excellent, thank you.
Oh, one note about the sound in this room. For those of you on that side, the microphones for Zoom are over here, so Pastor Neil gave a great demonstration. Please project so they can hear you on Zoom. We see your hand in the back. Go ahead, Liz.
Good morning, Dr. LaJean Payne. Is now an appropriate time for you all to share what you're looking for in the candidates?
Yeah.
Everybody swallowed on that one.
I know, to see who's gonna answer first, like the supervisor.
Yeah, the thing is, we're gonna do the interviewing and we're gonna make the recommendations. It really, for me, it comes down to shared lived experience, expertise in assembling this type of an organization. And it's really broad breadth. The other part is, are you able to attend all these meetings? I mean, clearly, the community has been very engaged in the entire process. And one of the complaints we get is bureaucracy doesn't move fast enough. We want this to roll fast. So we want to make sure that we're picking candidates who can actively participate, don't have to bring everything to the table, so some piece of experience, some lived experience, those types of things that we can build a team that can actually move this forward, work together as a unit.
I love that. If I can add, I keep pulling up. I keep pulling up slides, but I do also want to highlight for everyone when we say lived experience, we can get even more specific around. So these listed on the screen are the priority service categories for the hub. There will be expanded services. It will grow. The network will grow. This is where we're starting. So if you have experience in behavioral health or navigating that system, particularly for African American males, housing navigation for those like at immediate risk of becoming unhoused, preventative health care, infant and maternal health, resource navigation, and reentry support or restorative justice, restorative alternatives. Those are the priority service categories. So please, if you have experience in those areas, in addition to the other lived experience you bring or professional experience you bring, please share those. Make sure you highlight those because those are those first service categories. Thank you for asking.
Any other questions in the room?
Before we go.
Yeah, Salon.
Okay, Zalon, we're going to promote you to panelist. If you can accept the invitation so that you're able to ask your question. There you are.
Hear me? You guys hear me?
Go ahead.
Okay. I just heard Peter say that if you're part of the TCAP, you can still apply to be part of the board. Is that true, or did I misunderstand what you said?
You heard that correct, John, because the board of directors as well as the community council, what we envision is that gonna be like as an open selection process. Yes, but I'm not sure if you're asking also about a previous conversation we had.
You know I am. That's exactly what
But-
I'm asking
but
about.
But if someone is planning or anticipating on applying to be the executive director, that would be a conflict of interest because so much of this process is gonna be informing what that executive director's criteria, eligibility, ideal candidates would be. So the executive director would be something that one should recuse themselves from this process if they are trying to apply for that.
Okay, but they can be on the board, but not just the executive director.
Yeah, they can throw their name in the hat, but that's gonna have to be, yep, but that's gonna be.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Or the Community Advisory Council, which is again, those in the community bringing their lived experience to the needs of the community, to the organization. So it's really important. Anything else, Peter, that you think?
Oh, no, that's it from us.
So again, I just want to express my gratitude. Essentially 40 applications to go through, and again, I appreciate the community's engagement. The other thing I wanted to talk about real quick is the Brown Act. You know, because, and Peter's made it very clear, this is in person. This is a board appointed committee essentially, and so therefore Zoom participation has some challenges that we can't really overcome. So it has to be an in-person meetings. So I want to make sure as you go forward that you understand that. I know with the pandemic, things were handled a little bit differently, and we're still having trouble with some of our advisory bodies moving out of that pandemic participation. So as a citizen, you can advise or participate via Zoom, but as a decision-making member of the body, the TCAP, it would have to be an in-person meeting. So, and I know that could present challenges. And of course, I'm a stickler on attendance. So if you don't think you can meet the meeting schedule, and that's okay. There are ways to participate, being at those meetings and giving public comment and input, but attendance is really important because we really do want to move forward. And we don't want to show up at meetings and come up short on having a quorum and being able to make decisions and actually move forward. And I talked right over my gratitude for everyone who applied, because to show that engagement and to participate and go through the process of an interview is not always the funnest thing to do. But I'm grateful to everyone who applied. We do have a list. We're going to start with those in the room. I'm stalling, hopefully, so supervisor can get here. She was challenging the conflict. We've had meetings all day, and it makes it hard to get from place A to B. So I was hopeful. Sorry.
I'm wondering,
Huh?
Supervisor Skills President is on, she's listening. She could listen.
Yeah, I just was I'm trying to stall to get to
She's
the,
on her way.
yeah, she's here any minute.
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Oh, good, question, helpful, thank you.
And may we know the order of the interviews?
Yeah,
That was, yeah.
I will pull that on, put that on screen right now. When I share it, it's just automatic, okay.
Yeah, it's just.
Okay.
So we are gonna start with those in the room.
Make it larger, okay. 2 minutes.
Yes.
How do I, let's see.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, let's just read them aloud.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll. So
And if
for, go ahead.
I'm so
You-
sorry.
You can read.
Excuse
them.
me. I'll read the names, and I just want to say, if your name isn't on the list, and I maybe designated you as Zoom and not, we'll revise that now while we have time, and I apologize for that. Some folks I'm meeting for the first time, so thank you for that. We'll start today with Leslie Brown.
And if you folks know they're gonna be coming up here.
Yeah, some folks are. So when we call you up, you can come sit in either of these spaces. And then, yeah, I'll give maybe like 2 or 3 at a time. So we'll start today with Miss Leslie Brown and then Yvette Williams. So,
Perfect timing. join.
Next will be Lauren Dahlberg, and then Angela Butler Owens, Willie Robinson, and then Edward Harris, Thelma Wilson, and LaJohn Payne, Dr. Jelima Nichols. Is there anyone else in person that I didn't list? Yanad? Okay, then we'll have Yanad, and there was one more hand? Okay, great, I'll just.
We revise that.
Thank you. Then we'll move to Zoom participants, and we'll start with Rachel Corona.
Wait.
Oh, I'm sorry. We'll start with Sandra White, excuse me. Next would be John Green, then Rachel Corona, Walter McMath, Tanya Johnson, Nettie Ovimbe. Oh, we did have an emergency, so I'm gonna give the next person, go to Mr. Arthur Harris, Mariah Bruce, Amika Freeman, and then we will share videos that were submitted from their applicants. And I'll do two, I'll name two folks at a time when it's time to go. You don't have to memorize that.
Then based on the number of folks we have, basically be limited to basically 2 or 3 minutes. We're not gonna sit here and conduct an inquisition of you. We have your applications, many submitted resumes and their work histories and their bios, so we have a lot to work from there. But again, be respectful of the other applicants' times and try and keep your time to 2 to 3 minutes. I'm looking at you all.
I'm
That's my
gonna,
timekeeper.
I'll put a timer on the screen for, since you're sitting there, it'll be on this screen.
We don't have a big hook that's gonna drag you off stage, but. All right, so you ready? Do you want to share anything?
Hello, everyone. My name is Chanel Scales Preston. I'm the supervisor in District 5. Sorry for my lateness. I had an MCE committee meeting in Concord, so that just ended at 2 o'clock. And so I was driving, rushing to get over here in time to make our equity committee meeting. So they have me schedule everything back to back, and nothing's ending on time today. But I just want to thank you all for being here in person and for those over Zoom as well. I did get a chance to listen in, so I did hear some of the comments and Supervisor Carlson and Kendra and Peter sharing all of the updates. And before we get started, I just have one question because I didn't remember hearing that. I know in terms of if anyone is looking at applying for future funding through the African American Wellness Hub, they should recuse themselves. Also, I think I remember reviewing something on the application process in terms of organizations, if there's too many people from one organization. I'm not sure if that was discussed as well.
Not yet.
Okay. You wanna share what was in the application there? Overrepresentation.
Yeah, since we have 13 seats, we do want to make sure that if we did receive a couple of applications from people who either work at or, serve as an ambassador of one particular organization. So we are trying to have a diversity of experience, diversity of organizations, alliances represented. So when the supervisors deliberate and make their decision, you'll probably hear that coming up. If there are 2 people from one organization, for example, they may be selecting one person.
Yeah, I think it's awesome that we have so many people that have applied and look forward to some of the other boards and committees that we have to fill, and perhaps we can have those individuals apply to those as well who didn't get selected this time around. But I think we're trying to make sure it's diverse too, that throughout the district, and make sure that it's not too many individuals that are on one side versus the other, and just make sure we have that diversity throughout Contra Costa.
I could just make one real quick announcement. For those who are online, and if you're in the
Attendee list.
attendees room, we need to promote you to panelist so you can be interviewed. So just please make sure that the name that you have is the name that's on the application and not say your organization or you're using, say, your colleagues or partners Zoom account, because then we won't know to promote you. So if you can please go ahead and do that, that would be helpful. Thanks.
I have a question. From organizational participation, an example, the NACP have branches in 3 areas of the county. Have you taken under consideration, maybe doing the early screening to address that with, say, more than one person coming from NACP, but maybe from different branches?
Yeah, so you definitely see NAACP being different from West County versus East County. And you all have different presidents and executive boards and so forth. And so, yeah, that is being taken into consideration.
Is that
as well.
taken into consideration in the screening where we are right now with the 23?
Right. Mhm.
So again, if there's anybody in the attendees list who's an applicant, if you could raise your hand. Not seeing any hands go up, so I think we've got everybody. And if you do, and if you are, and we miss you, when we call your name, again, throw your hand up. Perfect. Okay, and again, in the sense of equity and fair play, we're gonna ask everybody the same question. There might be one or two, you might open the door based on something you say, but the idea is, we're gonna just ask you the same question. So we'll go ahead and get started.
Are you gonna have that question on the screen there? Kendra?
Oh.
Just for people who may have any type of disabilities and need to read it better than hearing it.
Okay. You can choose.
Nothing.
Is it okay if we print it and, can we put it in the chat? And then if we can print it, because I need to share.
She wants to show the clock. the
Oh, okay,
2:05.
got it, yeah. You can print it and share it.
I will print it out right now and you'll have.
Be the second.
I'd like to be the first one. Thank you all for your patience.
Sorry.
This one.
Top of page 2. Now we lost Peter.
If you're going to print the
He's
question,
gonna go print.
this is all the same questions, just making sure they have the question in front of them.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and read the question so everybody hears it. So in regard to serving on the TCAB, and I'm gonna abbreviate. Just please share your professional background and any relevant lived experience, as well as your interest and desire in serving on the TCAB.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for having me. My name is Leslie Brown. I'm a proud Richmond resident. I grew up in Richmond and I currently live there with my family right now. And I'm deeply committed to the health and wellness of my neighbors and community members so that they can have resources that support their physical, emotional well-being. I have 15 years of experience in community health, public health program development, strategic partnership development with a focus on equity and focusing in on structurally vulnerable communities. I've worked in hospital community benefits probably for the last 10 or so years. I've worked with a lot of the major hospital organizations that service Contra Costa County, John Muir Health, Sutter Health, and currently in my current role at Kaiser Permanente, I'm the community health benefit manager for the Contra Costa and Tri-Valley service area. I've also worked in nonprofit with American Heart Association, in higher education at Samuel Merritt University, and in all those organizations, I've led initiatives around chronic disease, development, food and nutrition security, housing, mental health, and maternal health. To give you an example, recently, I just led the maternal health initiative for Kaiser Permanente's Northern California Community Health Department. That included me building out the research, pulling out data and statistics for our most vulnerable communities. We know that maternal health is one of the primary focus areas that impacts African-American families. And so the result of that was talking with community stakeholders, community-based organizations that were providing services around maternal health. And that resulted in 9 organizations receiving funding in 5 counties, Contra Costa County being a part of that. That's not just because I work there. I'm deeply committed to that topic. My sister had a traumatic birth experience. She had an amniotic fluid embolism. She's not supposed to be here, or my nephew. Only 1% of people actually survive that. So that topic, really all of African-American wellness I'm personally attached to it.
Just wanna, I'll make a note when it's 2 minutes. Maybe I'll give folks like a 15-second warning next time. I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
For 2 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you
Okay.
very much.
They went first. I went back for going first.
Yeah, that is the hardest part. Yvette Williams?
You guys are scaring me. You're not asking her any questions?
Are you hiding in the background back there?
Yes.
Still hurt, I'm sorry.
Hi, everyone. Hi, y'all. Hi, hey. Hey to the board. All right. Don't start you.
I'm gonna
I'm
read
so
you the
used to
question.
talking to other people about them. You guys have no idea how much stress this is to talk about myself. You ready?
When you start, I'll start.
My name is Yvette Williams. I've lived in Concord since 1997. My family and I are counted within the 4% of African Americans concentrated in one area, the Monument Corridor, which my family and I have resided for nearly 24 years. I'm the founder of Back on Track Community Services and Back on Track Expungement Services. We provide resources and direct services to youth and adults throughout the Bay Area with a strong concentration within Contra Costa County. I expunged my first criminal record in 1998, and I've provided pre-diversion services to youth since 2010. I'm happy to say my clients are not the worst mistakes they have made in their lives. My request to support the hub and become a TCAP member is to work towards African Americans having access to a multitude of services and resources that lift up our most harmed and underrepresented community members. Since 2010, I've coordinated well over 15 community events by collaborating with agencies such as Mouse Hall, White Pony, Health Right 360, NAMI, Monument Impact, and many, many more for well over a decade. I've been a relationship builder and change maker for many years. I'm excited to know this board will not be allowed to profit. This board will focus on real change, not the kind that jingles. I'm a paralegal since 2010, a committee member who created the AB 12 legislation for transitional age foster youth. I was unhoused on April 15, 1986 in foster care. Keynote speaker for Alameda County Foster Care Adoption Services for 3 years. And I have direct experience working with victims and survivors of human and sex trafficking since 2011. That's it. Here.
So you have,
We're size
that's
11.
the follow-up.
Okay, go ahead.
Would Back on Track, your organization, be an organization that would look to get provide rapid response services of the hub or of the network?
So, I believe when we covered, that piece over Zoom last week, it really excited me because I've always been about change. I've always been about change. and not making a lot of money, right? So down the line, I thank you for clearing that up, absolutely, but not right now. Right now, we boots on the ground and we gotta get in, we gotta do this work. So in taking money off the table brings the real ones to the table, right? All right,
So you would be willing
down the line,
to
way
recuse?
down the line.
Okay, all right.
Mhm.
Because if you were appointed, it would be one of those situations of if you were to put out an RFP for the services that Back on Track or any organization you represent could receive funding, you'd have to recuse yourself. Okay.
No, I
And
do a lot, go ahead.
I just want to add that, you as being a nonprofit, we appreciate the work you do in the community and all of our African-American nonprofits and community-based organizations. When we talk about the hub, you are the hub, right? So even though we don't have a location, but you are the hub. When we talk about the hub, we refer people to you to get these services. So we do want our community to still receive those services as well. So, I think those are things to think about. We don't want to take that off the table. And we'd prefer for you to recuse yourself so that people are getting direct services because we still want to serve those people too. So,
I can respond.
yes, ma'am.
So I have worked with so many amazing agencies that walk like me, that talk like me. So if you want somebody like me, like I do have an identical twin, but this is Yvette. However, I can refer to another resource agency because I did more of that than anything else. And I let my clients give me feedback. I don't just Google and say, go over there. I ask my client, how was you treated? Blah, 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 and then I go on. Anything else?
For that. Thank you.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
You.
Lauren Delbert. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Pressure's off now. Share your professional background and relevant lived experience in your interest in serving.
All right, professional background. It started maybe 5 years ago as a lived experience consultant with homelessness experience, helping to integrate workforce development into the COC and the continuum of care for the unhoused in our county. And that was my first experience at designing a program or policy or implementation. It was part of the Workforce Accelerator Fund 8.0 state funding that they put out every once in a while to accelerate workforce development. And I started as a lived experience consultant, and then halfway through the project, I was co-leading the project. Because they were getting someone who was going to be able to do just more than talk about my experiences being unhoused, to give you a better example, was like, once that project was over, I was invited to apply for a position as a program manager in a poverty fighting initiative called Mobility Labs. And I basically inherited a failing program, and I was able to take that program and turn it into a feasible, viable, and most importantly, desirable program that the community was proud. It was all co-designed with community. And between those two experiences, that gave me hands-on experience on how to design programs. And then from there, I moved on into providing input at the state level regarding, I see the timing here. So let's take a look here at my interest is really, I've walked the path out of apathy and into agency. We hear a lot in the media about how men and boys are struggling. Well, Black men and boys have been struggling for a very long time. We have been the canaries in the coal mine. And so that's the experience that I bring, is a possible pathway out of apathy and into agency.
Thank you.
You have a follow-up question? We're just gonna ask everyone, so it could be fair, and transparent. And Leslie, we'll probably have you come back up just to ask that question, so it'll be the same across the board. Can you please share if you have any professional or personal affiliations with any organization that pose a potential conflict of interest in the future for funding opportunities for either implementation lead or rapid response service provider?
I don't think so. I got one contract with, working with, the folks who do handling the COC, helping with their strategic plan. But it's primarily all interdepartmental and cross-sector partnership, looking for gaps and stuff like that. And it has nothing directly to do with this project.
Thank you. And what city are you from?
I'm from Bay Point. I'm originally from Richmond, but I live in Bay Point now.
Thank you. That you're cheering everybody on together. That is so, I love that.
We all in this
Yeah.
together, come on. now.
Yeah.
We're in service right now, come on.
Angela.
I am not as interested as everyone before me. but-
Oh, yes, you are.
Not
Everyone is.
I'm interested. But, I've been a proud resident of Danville. Oh, have we started?
Right.
I'm a proud resident of Danville since, August 1991, where I raised 2 African-American males. And you know how hard that is in Danville. And witness our town grow into a vibrant and thriving community. Throughout these years, I have remained deeply aware of community issues and needs. Where my professional career limited my availability to volunteer in the past, I am now in a position to give back through meaningful service. My 41 years of technical career began in Sunnyvale and spanned decades in Silicon Valley, where I gained extensive leadership and management experience across highly complex projects. I currently run my own business and hold a master's of science degree in telecommunications management from Golden Gate University and a bachelor's of science in electronics engineering technology from Coxwell Polytechnical College. In addition, I am PMP and ACP certified through the Project Management Institute and hold an advanced management certification from Stanford University. With this strong foundation in leadership, strategy, and collaboration, I am eager to apply my skills in service to the community. I am particularly interested in this board, where I believe my background in project and program management and community-focused problem solving can directly support initiatives that strengthen equity, wellness, and access to resources. Additionally, I would welcome the opportunity to serve on the advisory council on the equal opportunity community. Equal employment opportunity, the affordable housing financial community, and the advisory council on aging. Each of these areas represents critical issues facing Contra Costa County, ensuring fairness in employment, expanding access to affordable housing, and providing vital support for our aging population. I'm motivated to contribute my experience, perspective, and dedication to advancing solutions that make a positive impact on individuals, families, and our broader community. Thank you.
Yeah, so I'm gonna ask you the second question as well, that's in front of you, I believe. Can you please share if you have any professional or personal affiliations with any organization that pose a potential conflict of interest and future funding opportunities for either the implementation lead or rapid response service providers?
There are no conflict of interests.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next two folks will be Walter and Billy and Edwards.
Mr. Robinson?
Mr. Robinson.
I'm sorry, that's so. We can clap you up. if you want.
It is today. Thank you for being here. Sure. Just, real quick, share with us, your professional background, your relevant lived experience, and your interest in serving on this body.
Okay, I'm Willie Robinson, presently serving as the president of the Richmond branch NACP. My involvement in the community extends through my work with developing the ORESJ, work as a person who's on the advisory committee for housing, for Affordable Housing Finance Committee, and I'm also on the MemCab board. I come with a technical background. Most of my technical profession have been oversight and ensuring compliance to agency regulation, basically starting with the nuclear power industry, moving all the way forward to the present school systems that we have right now, which I was a consultant and ran my own businesses for about 25 years. My interest in this is more about me giving back to the community and ensuring that persons who are at risk are able to navigate the system. I'm a product of Richmond for the early 60s, and most certainly through my church, I've been instrumental in bringing young Black males to the forefront of having them exposed to what's in the community for them and how to navigate system. One of whom is sitting in this room with us today, who was the product of our church program that brought forth a number of young Black males to the forefront of navigating system. And of the 10-year period that program ran, we are proud to believe that it was fully successful. We didn't lose any one of them. So I believe my interest and my involvement to this point in working with the county, looking at the systems within the county, breaking down those barriers that are there, but also at the same time, helping people to get services that they really need. So that's where I believe my interest in this will be an asset to the program, and I hope I am selected.
And, Mr. Robertson, before you go, just the same question. Can you share if you have any professional or personal affiliations with any organization that might pose a conflict of interest in the future for funding opportunities such as implementation lead or rapid response service providers?
No, I'm strictly on the advocacy side, so I'm looking to help those service providers do the best job that they can for those who need.
Thank you.
Full disclosure, I am a product of the program.
We gotta clap it up for you.
Put you out there like that. Yeah, we not.
Next, we have Pastor Ed Harris.
Are you saying he has a long history in this county?
Good afternoon.
Well,
Here is a little hot.
not meant to be.
All right, I'm Reverend Ed Harris. I am originally from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, grew up in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. I am a vet. I'm also a disabled individual. I've raised about 7 African-American children. I've pastored for over 20 years across the Bay Area. And with that in mind, I pastored Redwood City, I pastored San Mateo, I pastored Palo Alto, I've pastored in Merced. And about 8 years ago, I planted a church in East Contra Costa County. Moved to East Contra Costa County in 2008 in Discovery Bay. And what I've been noticing over the years is that there's opportunities for our children, our community to be represented, but the more. And in living in other communities, I've found out that, again, it points to the direction that the African-American community is, like the studies say, last and left out. As a pastor, I've had a chance to cross many opportunities with organizations that provide services. And when people come having disparaging situations in reentry, in domestic violence, in healthcare, in childcare, having sickness, Many times, the first place people come is to the church. And part of the African Methodist Episcopal Zion Church started in 1796. A church of Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass, Sojourner Truth. So we've always, as a church body, focused on African American and African American needs as a community. I'm also a member of the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, founded in 1911 at Howard University, built on the cardinal principles of manhood, scholarship, perseverance, and uplift. And as a result of that, it's embedded in me to look out for opportunities, especially to help our young people and to make sure that we help. Why do I want to do this? I really want to do this because it's part of who I am. It's part of what I'm about. And I want to be boots on the ground, as well as to continue to honor the legacy of Supervisor Federal Glover, who put his heart and soul into this. And I want to be on the ground floor, making. I'm a facilitator by trade. And so as a result of that, that gives me an opportunity to hear it all and work it out. So I thank you for your time and I appreciate you.
All right, Pastor Harris, do you happen to have any professional or personal affiliations with any organizations that pose a conflict of interest in future funding? Okay.
Thanks for that. Thank you for your.
Well.
Oh, did I do it wrong? Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yes. Okay. Dr. Lejeune Payne? I'm there. Oh, okay. Thanks.
What's that, Doc?
Oh, sorry. I think I deleted something.
Doctor.
I'll see one of them.
Yeah, go for the cooler one. Yes, okay. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Reverend Dr. Lejeune Payne, EDD. My background is in education, innovation, and technology and spiritual care. I think that my background in education is what has made me what I see to be a connector, an advocate, especially for African Americans. I have spent many years in Deep East Oakland as a principal, working with the most vulnerable, advocating for our boys, their mental needs, and making sure they have what they need. I am a resident. I live in District 5 in Contra Costa County. I am a commissioner for women and girls. And I just see myself again as a connector. As far as spiritual care, I am a pastor in San Francisco. I'm currently working on a partnership right now with the Juvenile Detention Center to be a liaison for girls when they are in the center and when they're leaving the center as well. I have been a foster parent of 10 children. My first degree, my bachelor's degree is in social work. I have served as a social worker. So I don't think anyone is more of a pit bull when it comes to advocacy and making sure not that we just implement this hub, but that it's sustainable than a principal that has worked with the most vulnerable, a foster parent, and a spiritual care leader, because that is the essence of who we are and the work we do. So I'm very passionate about Contra Costa County. I have worked all over, but I really want to make sure that I'm serving the county where I reside. And so that's why I'm interested. And I just want to make sure that the program is sustainable more than anything. So I see myself as a thought partner coming to the table. No, I don't have any conflicts of interest, not looking for a conflict of interest, but looking to be an advocate to make sure that we build something that lasts.
Thank you, Pastor.
Mhm.
Good afternoon, and thank you for the opportunity to interview. My name is Dr. Jelema Nichols. My career has spanned over 15 years in biopharmaceuticals and public health. I hold a Doctor of Education in Organizational Change and Leadership from the University of Southern California, as well as a Master of Public Health and Health Promotion and Disease Prevention from the George Washington University. I'm a published researcher in the field of equity and public health. And earlier in my career, I conducted clinical research studies at the National Institutes of Health with a focus on health disparities, specifically in cancer and oral health within women, children, and communities of color. Professionally, I've served as the head and the national director of the nurse educator team at GlaxoSmithKline, otherwise known as GSK, which is a global pharmaceutical company. In that role, I led a national team of 40+ nurses across all 50 states of the US, including Alaska, Hawaii, and Puerto Rico, and providing education in chronic disease and rare diseases for marginalized communities of color, which is where I'm from as well. And also providing education within the very county in which we sit. And I'm a proud resident of Bay Point. I'm motivated to serve on the TCAB mainly because of the urgent health disparities that we have within our community. As we all well know, African-American children are hospitalized for asthma at 5 times the rate of white children in our county. Also, infant mortality for Black children is 3 times greater than that of their white counterparts. And overall, Black residents of Contra Costa County have the lowest life expectancy of all residents, regardless of race or ethnic makeup. These inequities and disparities are completely unacceptable, highlighting the importance of this TCAB and the urgent need to have a TCAB that is ready to hit the ground running. For those reasons, I'm deeply committed to this mission. I would be honored to serve, to bring my expertise in strategy and health leadership, health equity, and my personal commitment and lived experience to be a part of the Wellness Hub to positively transform this community. So I thank you for this opportunity and your time.
And just for the last question, do you have any conflicts of interest professionally, personally?
No and no.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello.
Well, hello. Hello, I am Enoch Burrell, a native of San Francisco, born and raised in the Bayview Hunters Point area. Let's talk about the why. The why is because this matters. I learned around the age of 16 or 17 about ACEs, Dr. Nadine Burke-Harris. I grew up right down the street from the clinic that she started. And around that time, understanding ACEs at that age was traumatic for me. I then became a CASA, a court-appointed special advocate at 19, but I specifically focused on the newborn program. I knew the newborn program, the infants who were born to women who were on drugs during the pregnancy, we had to be able to serve them at those birth ages. So I did that for 5 years, lived, then came over to Richmond, San Pablo, where I've been for 25 years, and dived right back into what I love, and that was health equity. Specifically, talking about the barriers to health. How do you get in? Do you know about the services? What is the communication like? And if you haven't figured out, I love communication. I am a communicator by heart. With that, I started with Healthy Richmond, then which is now Healthy Contra Costa, and then understanding that air quality, knowing what happened in the shipyards where I grew up. Here we are now with the AB 617, was able to be selected to serve on that committee because of the many health disparities. Asthma was the largest health disparity amongst a lot of the students in WCCUSD. Everything that I believe in my education has brought me to this point. I love education. I have a master's in healthcare administration, also a master's in public administration, and May of 2026, drum roll, I will be finishing my doctorate in transformative social change. And I chose the subject of, thank you. I chose the subject of the intersection of redline communities and aging water infrastructure. Wow. That part. Yeah. And go.
So the second question, do you have any conflict of interest professionally or personally that would prevent you from serving on this board?
Absolutely not.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
No, it's hard. Good to see you.
And I think I'm the last in person.
Maybe. No, you.
Anyone else interviewing today?
Anybody in person?
Sorry.
Well, I am Velma Wilson. I'm the youngest of six. I was raised by a single mom who was a victim of domestic violence. She served our country in the US Army as in the Vietnam era. She raised us until she married my stepfather in 1979. And over the years, I had the honor of serving in nearly every capacity within PTA leadership, beginning at the school level, where I held every board position and progressing to serve as vice president, and then the president at the council level. My journey continued as I took on roles of vice president and the first African-American to hold the executive vice president at the district level. I have had the privilege of serving on the California State PTA Board of Managers, where I've consistently advocated for children and families with a passion and purpose. Currently, I do serve as the first vice president of East Contra Costa County, branch of the NAACP. The NAACP, the largest, the oldest and boldest civil rights organization. This is what this committee means to me. I also am the chair of the Community Advisory Committee for SELPA, which serves all of our special education and special kiddos that often get overlooked. These roles have further deepened my commitment to equity, access, and ensuring that every child, especially those from historically underserved communities, has the support and opportunities that they deserve. It is through these extensive leadership and advocacy experiences that I am inspired to serve on the Transitional Community Advisory Committee. I view this committee as a significant step forward in progress, a progress that some still don't want to see happen. We are all in this together. We are one nation under God with liberty and justice for all. Or is it? The word transition means to move from what was to what will permanently be. Sustainability is what we need. Historically, this county has not been the most welcoming to people of color, and they still struggle in this area. To now have the opportunity to help shape a more inclusive and equitable future is both powerful and necessary, and I want to be a part of that work. I am particularly committed to ensuring that African-American families and children have full access to support, services, and resources, especially within an intentional affinity space that recognizes and honors the unique experiences and cultural relevance. As I serve the entire school district of Antioch Unified, volunteering my time as their parent and student engagement liaison that they have yet to employ.
I'm not being a very good timekeeper. That's.
No, you're not being a very good timekeeper. But I do want to end with this thought. To me, community means we must commune, that we must come together in unity and have a shared purpose to come to one clear goal. We are all in this together.
Thank you.
No, I do not have any conflict to answer to both of your questions. I do not, and I appreciate it.
Thank you. Any other applicants in the room?
No other applicants in the room, so I'm gonna just share my screen to get the Zoom participants ready. And my share. So this is the order: Sandra, John Green, Rachel, Walter, Latanya, Nettie, Arthur Harris, Mariah, and Amika, and we'll queue you up, but just wanted to remind you of the Zoom of the order.
It's hard with the clock up. So I'll go ahead and read the first question just to make sure we don't get lost.
And we put it in the chat too, so we
I
have
know,
it.
but it's so hard to
I know.
see and. All right, so, Sandra White,
Yes.
all right. In regard to serving on the Transitional Community Advisory Body, please share your professional background and relevant lived experience and why you're interested in serving.
Thank you. So thank you supervisors this afternoon for the opportunity to share my background. My name is Sandra White and I currently serve as Vice President of Human Resources at Center for Social Dynamics. We provide behavioral health and autism services to children up to the age of 18. In addition to my HR leadership, I am also a trained mental health professional, which gives me a unique perspective at the intersection of workforce development and community wellness. In my current role, I oversee policies, compliance, and workforce engagement across multiple states, with a strong focus on ensuring that individuals, particularly those in demanding frontline roles, have the resources and support they need to thrive. My mental health background further equips me to understand not only the systems that shape access to care, but also the lived experiences of stress, trauma, and resilience. I believe this combination of expertise positions me to make a meaningful contribution to the Transitional Community Advisory Body, particularly in identifying and supporting leaders who can bridge organizational systems with community needs. I am deeply passionate about advancing holistic wellness models that connect mental health, economic opportunity, and community trust in ways that are both culturally responsive, sustainable. I hope that you will consider me to be part of this great initiative, and that this great initiatives where many people's lives will be changed. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I do not have any conflict of interest.
Wonderful.
Yeah. And I do believe John Green is no longer online. So we'll go to the next person.
Who's not online?
John Green was next up to interview, but time-wise, he had a small window.
We can move them up to the beginning. Okay,
Okay.
if you want to message him and see. He can hop
Do we
back
have
on.
his contact info, the message and say?
Yeah, Jessica.
Yeah, if he pops on. Yes.
So are you guys gonna send us home with good news, or do we have to wait for an email?
However you want to do it.
No, we'll send you home unless, no, I think we can do it.
You can let us know today.
We could send you home with good news or bad news. We can send you home with
the news.
With news.
what we're going to recommend to the Board of Supervisors, because we have to get this to the board in time to be on the agenda on the 21st, which essentially that window narrows, so we want to get that in.
Look at me.
Okay. So
But
moving-
if you already interviewed, you don't have to stay in person. If you do leave, then you can let us know and Kendra or Peter can send you an email.
Well, we wanna hype everybody up.
Okay.
So if for any reason you can't hang with us
Yeah.
through the whole meeting,
We
it's
understand.
okay to leave and we'll be left early.
Right.
No, we understand people gotta go back to work.
Okay.
Rachel Corona.
Rachel Corona.
Hi, my name is Rachel. I'm from Brentwood, California. I originally am from San Francisco and I lived in Antioch. I graduated from Deer Valley High School in 2004. I've been a student of yoga and meditation for over 30 years now and have dedicated myself to teaching trauma-informed yoga for 12 years. after being introduced to this philosophy of practice. My practice and teaching ability continues to guide me in bridging holistic wellness, cultural identity, and social justice, because there we can create spaces for collective healing and empowerment within the community. Right now, I'm currently a senior at Cal Poly Humboldt social work program, which is rooted in decolonization, Indigenous, and tribal social work. I'm currently the president of the Phi Alpha Honor Society of Social Workers at this university, and my senior year in practicum placement is at Be Exceptional, which helps serve children and young adults with special needs in different activities and provides resources to the community. Currently, I'm teaching yoga. Specifically, I like to focus on trauma-informed yoga at Yoga 6 in Brentwood. And I'm honored to be considered for this advisory board because I believe that true community wellness must be holistic, inclusive, and trauma-informed. My goal is to bring forward a perspective that unites social work practice, cultural awareness, and embodied healing to ensure that programs and policies reflect the realities of the community. I hope to collaborate with my peers and community leaders to strengthen equitable access to wellness, education, and support for all individuals and families. And I also have a small nonprofit called Pacific Coast Holistic, where I specifically work with other African American women and families in regarding high ACEs. And no, I don't have any conflicts of interest. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Rachel.
Walter online.
Walter,
I have him redlined, like.
Hi,
But
guys.
I saw his name on
yep, there it is.
there.
Yeah.
So next up is Walter McMath.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me. My name is Walter McMath. I am a law and motion attorney from Richmond. I live in East Richmond Heights, which is District 1. I'm also an erstwhile music teacher. In the last year, I served as the Therapeutic Performing Arts Coordinator at Catalyst Academy in El Sobrante, where I both sourced an instrument library and also taught music appreciation and music theory to my special needs class. I grew up in Oakland, and I have dreamed of creating equitable justice reform since I went to Princeton in 2003. What I do as a law and motion attorney is I basically study the law all day and think about it, and then I write briefs that educate other people about the law. Before that, I spent most of my practice career in criminal law. I have been both a public defender and also a private criminal defense attorney, and I've worked in Contra Costa County in the criminal courts, as well as criminal courts all over the state. I have a lot of experience with how the courts work and the levers that already exist for creating diversion, creating restorative justice, creating reentry options. And I also have ideas about the levers that should exist. I'm qualified for this committee because as an attorney, I am an interdisciplinary learner. Not only do I study the law all day, and not only does the law reach into everything that we do, but I'm also just a naturally curious person. I got into this in the first place because I studied sociology and the sociology of crime and punishment, the whole theory of which is that when you have social strain, you have additional problems, including crime. And that means problems with housing, that means problems with resource navigation, that means anything that's on the Maslow hierarchy of needs. And in fact, I saw that. I saw that when I was in criminal practice, that folks that came to the table with a criminal case often had additional problems. I think I have a holistic perspective on that I can bring to this committee because I take a holistic perspective to my practice and also to my life, generally speaking, as a father, as somebody that believes in behavioral health, and as a citizen. I want to thank everybody for their consideration and thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Oh, and I don't have any conflicts of interest, neither inherent or apparent.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Latanya Johnson. You are ready.
Okay, hi, my name's Latanya Johnson. I've been a resident of Concord for over 20 years. I am the program manager at a local nonprofit that serves individuals and families through housing and mental health support. I have worked with the unhoused families and individuals for over 30 years, and in the past 9 years, I've had the pleasure of working right in Contra Costa County with CFS and Hope Solutions and CalAIM. In addition to my professional work, I'm the founder of Juneteenth Concord and a proud single mother of a teenager with special needs. I'm seeking to be part of the committee because I deeply believe that the space is essential for our community. Historically, systems of care have not been culturally designed to meet the unique needs of African Americans. A hub that is intentionally created for us can help break down long-standing stigmas and various barriers to seeking support. As a Black mother of a child with special needs, I've attended many support groups for mental health, special needs, families, single moms, and often I'm the only Black parent in the room. While those spaces are helpful, they rarely address the cultural or racial factors that impact our experiences. Having a dedicated hub that recognizes and honors our lived experience would make a real difference, not just for me, but the families and individuals across the community. Thank you for considering me. And I have no conflicts.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Up next, we have Nettie. Nettie, please correct my pronunciation.
It is Nettie.
Okay, wonderful. When you're ready, thank you.
All right. Good afternoon, supervisors, distinguished ladies and gentlemen here. Thank you for this opportunity. My experience with African American, especially the underserved communities, spans for over 16 years now, where I served in the Brewster Project area in Detroit, Michigan for over 9 years. And currently in the Bay Area, I am serving both ministerially and professionally with the African American, again, with mostly the underserved area in the capacity of helping the formerly incarcerated men and women in a capacity of mentorship, coaching, reentry into the job force, and also helping out with the youth in the juvenile along with their parents, their families. I have encountered numerous, challenges in trying to place most of these men and women, especially the formerly incarcerated and underserved communities in the job force through my agency, staffing agency. And I am passionate about working with men and women that are passionate in this field to come up with an infrastructure that will last to help our men and women regain entry into the workforce and to be sustained there.
Thank you.
And I do not have.
Sorry. Do you have any potential conflicts of interest?
No, I don't.
Thank you. Arthur Harris, you are up.
Oh, perfect. Hi, everybody. Again. All right. About me, I'm Art Harris. I'm a Bay Area native. Let's see, I've been in Hercules for about 10 years before then in the Hilltop area. So I feel like this area's adopted me as like a son, even though, or an uncle to some people, even though I'm from Oakland and Hayward. I'm a veteran. I am a therapist, a dad, husband, a member of the community, school psychologist. Currently, I do private practice for mental health therapy in the area. I've been doing private practice for over 2025, about 11 years. Geez. In serving the Richmond community, but I also been in the school district as a school psychologist for the past 4 years. I've been an administrator, the special education director for mental health in West Contra Costa. And so I do have experience with in that role, setting up a mental health clinic, providing services to the community, billing Medi-Cal for the county. And I also been doing that in my own business for some time. The reason why I'm interested is because I want to be able to support and get back to giving more direct support to our Black community. I see the need. We don't have anything just for us, and we need competent, qualified people that are intentional in serving us there. Um, that's me in a nutshell, in 90 minutes.
Thank you.
And do you have any conflict of interest professionally or personally?
You know what? Probably now that as I think about it, I'll probably, because I know I'm going to apply to provide a service. And my wife, who's also a therapist in Black infant health, I'm pretty sure she's going to find something to apply for. So, man, I got to pull myself back from being on the panel. But I had to sit through this process to realize it.
Thank you. Well, thank you. Thank you for being a African American therapist. We don't have many Black males or just African Americans as therapists in our community. So
We have some. I live with one. She's my wife, and I'm one too. So no, we here. It's just we spread out, but we're here.
yeah.
I'm with the Association of Black Psychologists also, and so I know the Bay Area chapter. We're out here.
All right. Well, you heard earlier the schedule of meetings, so I'm gonna say date night will be your public participation in the TCAP meetings.
Okay. Exactly right. As long as you have babysitting.
I'm gonna hold you to it then.
You gotta, I gotta cut out with your wife first.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, Art.
All right.
Up next, we have Mariah Bruce.
Hi, so good afternoon. My name's Mariah Bruce, and I'm honored to be considered for the Transitional Community Advisory Board. I bring both lived experience and professional expertise that directly aligns with the Hub's holistic wellness mission. I was previously in-house with my 2 young sons and am systems impacted through my brother's incarceration. I also have a son who is on the autism spectrum. So these experiences have taught me firsthand how wellness, housing stability, and family support must be addressed together, not separately. Currently, I serve as the Senior Manager of Workforce and Economic Development at Contra Costa College, where amongst the other programs that I support, I am over the Rising Scholars Program. So daily, I support formerly incarcerated individuals navigating reentry, housing, mental health resources, and educational pathways, of course. So I see how wraparound services create transformative outcomes when they're culturally responsive and trauma informed. I also serve as board president of Oakland Elizabeth House, a transitional home serving vulnerable families. The nonprofit governance experience will help guide the Hub's organizational development during this critical transition phase. I'm also completing my doctorate in educational leadership at Sacramento State, and my research focuses on integrating joy and wellness as foundations for effective leadership. It examines wellness not as individual self-care, but as collective resistance strategy, essential for developing hub source services that honor the community resilience while addressing systematic barriers. So my experience spans the hub's priority areas: housing navigation for families with young children, resource navigation through public benefit systems, reentry support for African American males and females, and behavioral health support using trauma-informed approaches. I'm deeply committed to ensuring this hub centers community voice, and I'd be honored to contribute. And I do not have any conflicts.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we have one more online, Amika Freeman.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you so much for allowing me to interview for this opportunity. So I am an Oakland native, and through my entire healthcare career, which actually kicked off in 2008, I've been working with the most frail and vulnerable and disenfranchised of the community. I started my career working in behavioral health. I worked at a group home that served African American males. I from then kind of moved around in different areas of healthcare, including fundraising. I worked for the American Cancer Society to help raise money for services for cancer patients. And then in 2012, I went to graduate school for public health, and that's where I really got a love for preventative health, which kind of leads me to where I am today. I work for the Center for Elders Independence, where I had the opportunity to work with the most frail and vulnerable of our seniors. I do a lot of grassroots outreach work to really meet people in the community where they are and let them know about our services. Because for me, it's really about working with the disenfranchised people within the community and standing with them so that they know that they're not overlooked, making sure that they feel seen, heard, and supported, letting them know that there are alternative options out there and connecting them to different resources within community so that they don't feel like they're alone in navigating this very cumbersome healthcare world by themselves. I truly believe, and this is why I want to be a participant on this panel, is that everyone deserves equal access to opportunity, to safety, to housing, and just overall respect. I know so often Black and Brown people are marginalized and do not feel like their voices are heard when it comes to the healthcare landscape. They feel like they're constantly ignored and not acknowledged, and their needs are not being met. And we see that there's so many comorbidities that are disproportionately affecting African Americans. And so I really just want to be an agent of change for that. I do not have any conflicts of interest, and that is all for me.
Thank you.
Stop spotlighting you would be great. So we have two videos for two participants who were unable to join. So we're going to key those up and show those now. It's Bianca Lachaux. Lachaux, I think. Lachaux. Okay.
Hello, my name is Bianca Lachaux. I'm a resident of Contra Costa County and have been for the past 25 years. I worked in Contra Costa County for the past 15 years. During the time that I worked, I've held two wonderful positions. I retired from the YMCA in 2019 as the Executive Director for West Contra Costa YMCA, providing support and overseeing programs within the West Contra Costa Unified School District, which included our school-based health centers, which are also known as community schools, the YC Mental Health Program, and after-school programs. I was one of the first integral members or folks in the community who worked with Supervisor John Joya to actually develop those school-based health centers. So that's really been something that I can look back on and really feel good about, being able to help the members and the young people in the community. The project that I'm really passionate about is the work that I do with Inspiring Communities. Since its inception in 2014, I've been focused on providing health education for the African American community around diabetes education. We provide diabetes prevention and diabetes management for those who have type 2 diabetes. And our population of focus has always been the African American community, because we do lack that education in how to actually take care of ourselves the best that we can when we have diabetes or even when we have pre-diabetes. One of the strengths that I bring to the table is the ability to learn how to increase the partnerships that we have very strategically, because partnerships are strategic. Bringing those partners to the table and to grow our programs and to know what we need to do to increase the awareness for our community members to engage in their health and wellness and have more access to the resources that they so greatly need.
The final one is Ashley Johnson.
Hi, first I'd like to apologize for sending this video so late. I didn't realize that the cutoff time for the videos were October 3rd before 4 p.m. So do apologize for that, and thank you for accepting my video. I was going to attend the meeting via Zoom, but I thought I'd be able to give a more thoughtful answer to your prompt question. First, my name is Ashley Johnson. I've been a resident of Contra Costa County for 33 years. I currently work for the nonprofit Urban Tilth in Richmond, California. I am Urban Tilth and its fiscal sponsored org's Human Resources Department. And the reason why I want to join the advisory board is because I don't see much advocacy for the African American community in Contra Costa and where I'm from, Richmond, California. I see a lot of resources for other people of color in the community, but I don't see a lot for Black residents, and that is disheartening. It is sad being African American myself, and I would like to be a part of just uplifting the community, as well as being a part of the advisory board and being able to help make these decisions for the better of the African American community. We really need it, and I feel like it's an exciting opportunity. But thank you so much.
That is everyone.
Okay, so just circling back through the chair, we were, I guess, Mr. John Green was on Zoom at one point, and you guys were gonna see if he wanted to hop back on. Just want to see if
Did John come back?
did he come back or not?
I didn't see him come back. I wasn't able to get through
I don't see him.
by cell. I did send an email asking him if he'd want to submit a video. And he said he might have some meetings, but
I know.
if he gets, I don't know, if he submits a video, I don't know if I should send it for, just let me know.
Okay. Well, I thought everyone was awesome. They just made it so hard.
That's a real talent in this room.
It is.
Amazing.
Everyone did a wonderful
I've
job.
been looking up all of you on LinkedIn.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, and once again, thank you all for cheering each other on. I know how hard it is to just do interviews in front of everyone, so, thanks for being supportive of each other. So this is, it's hard, but I just wanna lift up the one thing, and I was hoping that Mr. John Green would come back on. I don't know him personally, never met him, but it was another African-American male, right? And so, what is constantly talked about since I've been on the board for the last 9 months is that we don't have African-American males serving on our commissions and committees, and we need more of their voices in the room. And so, you know, for me, I would like to start there since we have such a short list of African-American males. And so, I don't know how you want to do this process, but
Well, I'm trying to be geographically, in a sense, make sure that every district is represented, and then that puts us at.
do you want to put it on the screen so it's transparent and everyone can see? And if you want to break it up by district? Okay. Okay, so this is so last week when we met, what you see on the screen, these are the selections, the names that the district supervisors sent over as recommendations.
Oh, I'll make it bigger.
And so that's how your names got moved over from your district supervisor. And so as you see there, most supervisors sent over a few. And then District 1, they only had one applicant. District 2, sorry, District 2 only had one applicant. I need glasses on. And so that is Supervisor Anderson's district. And so we do want to make sure that we're representing each district. And so seeing that we interviewed Angela Owens, and knowing that that's the only representative from District 2, I would say yes, to move her forward, Supervisor Carlson. That was the easiest one to do.
It was not easy.
Because we were looking at districts, so that's why it was easy.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, that was a no-brainer.
By default.
But clearly.
Clearly, everyone's good. Everyone's qualified.
Supervisor, just to clarify for the folks who are listening in the room, 3 people did have to recuse themselves from this list, so for transparency, we have Art Harris, who just recused himself for potential conflict of interest.
The African-American male that we need, but yes.
Also,
You could have me just in a different way at a different time as a fighter.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you.
Dr. Kimberly Payton also recused herself simply for a family emergency, was not able to participate today. And then John Green in District 4 also, as you know, recused himself because he was unable to be interviewed and participate today.
Yeah.
And just to let you know about Dr. Kimberly Payton, for those of you who may not know, Mrs. Frances Green, she fell down. She's in a hospital, and Dr. Payton is there with her. And so she is taking care of her, and will continue, like I said, for everyone. If you don't get selected today, there will be other committees and boards to serve on, and we hope that you all will apply for those as well. There's more opportunities to serve.
So did John pull out or did he just not make the interview?
Oh, that's a good one. He just was not able to make the interview.
So I guess he was on, but then he had to go back to work or whatever he had to do, so.
Yeah, I just,
Pretty disappointed, so I'm hoping, I mean, I did have him as number 2, just in case, like, we could push him up forward, but I know time.
Yeah, I'm sorry that the time didn't work out, and I got here late too, so, yeah.
well, but when it comes, again, I'm just speaking for me. You know, we continue to hear about the disparities that African-American males face.
Right.
And that's why I do want to, not only geographically, but based on gender and identity, make sure we do get adequate representation. I will share that I have known John almost his whole life. Through my work in law enforcement, I know his background, and he's working to partner with the Community Youth Center in Concord and a mentoring program and other things. So there might be a little bias there in the sense of, well, he's male and I do have more of an in-depth knowledge of his background, that's all.
And we want a balanced board as well with African-American male voices.
So the actual term, he didn't recuse himself.
He did not recuse
It's not
himself.
that, I don't think that's
He
accurate.
just
He just said, I apologize, I won't be able to interview, and he says he can't express how disappointed he is. Please let Ken Carlson know. I apologize as well. I've been attending the meeting from the beginning. I just didn't plan for this duration. So.
I think he should still be given a shot.
Right. Yeah, maybe he could.
And maybe
He submitted his application. His application is public here, transparent online here on the agenda.
Speaks for itself.
It does.
And I think that you all can consciously, in good decision, make a decision based on that.
And there's certain things that, so I want to go back to Angela in the sense of, okay, you might be the only representative from District 2, but when I'm looking at filling positions, expertise and experience, whether that's life or live, but organizational, how your management experience, program managing. So, trying to kind of, not everybody has that full umbrella of lived experience, whether it's work or facing the biases and disparities or the challenges of homelessness or some of these things. But having.
Or living in the community where there's not many African American resources.
Right. So I look at it, and when I had to organize boards of directors for nonprofits. It's, oh, I want somebody with a little real estate experience. I want somebody with some law experience. I want somebody with the actual services experience. So just hearing her interview and her organizational work experience and the abilities that, you know, she can bring to the board, I think, I just wanted to share it. My view, she was a great candidate, plus District 2. Now it's hard.
And now we're doing this.
Okay, so where am I? So for, under District 5.
Yeah.
Can you just put a space between that so I know where we are? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you. Yeah. So. Natasha Griffin,
Oh, I'm
she
so sorry.
withdrew.
She did
so
withdraw.
if you
I'm
can
actually
move-
just going to also her.
Oh. Yeah. Okay, so for, I know for each district, we're looking at either, what, 3 or 4 members for each district? Okay, so right now, that's District 5, and that's 4.
You want me to highlight off for?
No, I just know that I'm just counting numbers.
Okay.
We gotta get to 13, right?
Right.
And if we're looking at how many people, per district, so that's district, we gotta either do 3 or 4, is that right?
That's right.
Per district? Or what were you gonna say, Peter?
Well, I've always been a proponent of having more members from D1 and D5 because that's where the priority communities have been identified for the first round of rapid support services in these first several years. Again, we identified communities that had the highest concentrations of Black residents that also experienced the highest disparities in health indicators. That were communities in Richmond and North Richmond, Antioch and Pittsburgh. So
in light of that, D3 also, because D3 and D5 split Antioch, so if you say D1 and D5, you're still leaving out D3 because D3 actually has the highest population of Antioch.
So
Yeah, cause some of my D5 is West County. Yeah.
So they overlap, so I'm just.
So the actual, so what Peter's talking about are the census tracts. So those census tract for Antioch, the census tracts that have the highest, social vulnerability are actually in the Antioch D5. So the recommendation, but you all don't have, is 4 in D1, 4 in D5, 1 in District 2, and then 2 in District 3 and 4. Did that math right?
that did.
Okay.
And also I think something that Supervisor you just mentioned might be important to lift up is in D5, yes, you are supervisor for communities in Pittsburgh, Antioch, and Bay Point, but you also have communities in Martinez and Hercules
Right.
and
And just making sure we represent them.
So,
Yeah.
Dr. Nichols, Lauren, LeJean, and Bianca would be District 5, and that would be your 4, right?
That would be 4 for, yeah.
Good with that.
Yes, I
Okay.
am, because those are, we just 3 that either withdrawed or had to recuse themselves from D5.
So I say we highlight D5. Yeah,
You just can't do 3 in each. D1, D3, and D5.
Do you want to go to District 1 next?
Let's go District 3, since we're talking about East County.
Okay.
So I feel like I would like to move forward with Pastor Edward Harris.
yeah.
He is an African American male, with lived experience and all the great stuff that he listed. Like I said, everybody on this list is qualified, more than qualified to serve on the board. And then Supervisor, Carlson, I'm thinking, Rachel, Corona? She did say she lives in Brentwood, but she graduated from Deer Valley, and so that's a different area, in District 3. And, but Supervisor Carlson, I don't know
No,
what your thoughts are.
No, based on my notes, health, newborn infants work, health administration, public administration, so not only brings the work experience in two different realms. Yeah.
So right now, then that would be the 2 for District 3.
No. Is she in District 3?
She's in District 3. She said she lived in Brentwood, but.
Oh, that's right, because on her app, she had still had it as.
Okay. And then, in terms of Supervisor Carlson, I'll lean on you for District 4. So District 2, I'll just leave that where it is right now.
Are we looking at only 3
And
or
then-
2 in District 3?
At right now, until we select the other ones. And then just to be completely, it is hard, completely transparent just with District 3. Because we were talking about organizations. I love you, Velma. I just will let you know. But we were talking about organizations. So you all serve on NAACP Executive Committee Board. And so what they were having on the application is not to be heavily weighted with too many members on one board. So Pastor Edward Harris serves on the NAACP board.
No, it doesn't.
No more? You've never been part of NAACP? Just a member. Okay, so you're a member though. Okay, so we were talking about splitting up, not to have too many people on one board versus on another board. But he's part of NAACP, the organization, right? So if we're looking at, that's why I'm mentioning it. So if we're looking at West County, and I think Mr. Willie Robinson, the president, he was trying to say, oh, well, are you comparing us? Are you comparing East County to West County? And I said, no, we're not comparing East County to West County. Because we understand that they are 2 different individual NAACP boards. So we wouldn't look at it in that sense, I don't think, but just being mindful of how many people that serve on the same board, because that was part of the application process. Yeah.
Full disclosure, I am the Justice Impact Chair for the East County.
East County, okay.
That would be an executive board member. There's a difference between executive board and membership.
Yeah, I don't think it was listed as executive. It didn't in the application. I think it was just saying people part of the same boards, committees, organizations, that sort of thing.
That's fine. I'm still gonna do work, so regardless if you select me or not, I'm still gonna do the work.
Oh, we know you're still gonna do the work.
Decision between Sandra and Velma.
No, I was looking at District 1 right now,
Well, I gotta put in.
unless you wanna go to
props
District 4.
for, Walter McNabb would be one of my picks.
So Walter,
Yeah, attorney,
yes, I remember, he did
not
it.
only that, but music and a
Mhm.
few other things, but.
Okay, I agree with Walter. And then, I know, they're all good. Mr. Willie Robertson,
He just comes with so much historical knowledge. But now you're trying to bias it with all men.
That's nice.
I'm trying to create a balance
I know, I'm just giving you.
as well.
Um,
Because that's what we keep hearing during public comment. Let's
we
see.
have two in District 3 now.
Wait, do you want me to, so Willie Robinson?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, sorry.
Okay,
yeah.
sorry, I was.
Currently, the count for men would be 4.
for one?
No, total for the entire TCAP so far, of the ones you selected. 4 males and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 females, 5 women. So far of the ones picked. But you still have District 4 and District 1 to complete.
Okay, so in District 4, we still have 2 more?
Yeah, 2 on
I mean, District 1, sorry.
Yeah.
District 1, we still have 2 more?
Yeah.
And how many we would select for District 4?
2.
Only 2.
If you go with that
We'll go with
recommended.
2.
Okay. Okay.
So it's really,
Okay, so let's finish up District 5, and District 1, and then go down to yours. You're the last one.
yeah, well, or District 3, you know, we won't.
Yeah. So I would like to.
What was your intention with District 1? 3 individuals?
4,
4 from District 1? 4 from District 5?
because of the priority areas.
Okay.
But
So we're saying
Okay.
east and
It
west.
was 8.
Mm.
And then 2 from District 3 and 2 from District 4.
yeah,
Okay, all right.
Now this is hard. The last 4, okay. See,
Let's see.
so Leslie Brown. Supervisor Carlson.
Leslie, we got Ashley. Sorry, I'm going back over.
No, that's okay.
This
I'll
is
wait for you.
23. That's mine.
So Leslie Brown and Mariah Reese.
Leslie and Maria.
My work. Really hard over at the behavioral health board.
He doesn't
You
want-
heard me.
he
I'm
doesn't
gonna
wanna-
work you at the behavioral health.
He
board
doesn't
like
wanna
don't
share
even
you.
know. I don't want.
I am for that. Thank you.
Because this is hard.
It is.
I want our working relationship to continue
It
to
will.
blossom.
Blossom.
right?
He's trying to keep you, Miss Burrell.
All right, so now.
Okay. And I lean on you for District 4.
Yeah, you know, how we doing boy versus girl? Well, like I say, I've worked with John or known John.
If I
His
have,
lived experience is an interesting story.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I did tell folks that they didn't have to interview if they were unable to.
Did we tell people that?
Yeah,
It
that
says it on the.
that is something that I sent out, like that if they could still be considered if they couldn't interview.
Got it. All right, so
so To your question, Supervisor, of the 11 that you've selected so far, 7 are women and 4 are men. Though you have picked so far out, not including D4, I think all the men who are still in the running have been selected.
Yeah. I think we're, okay, so,
I support you with John Green.
but I thought they have to interview.
No, it doesn't. It said it didn't. There was
Okay.
a disclaimer that you didn't.
All right, but let's go with John. We can pick some alternates too. But we didn't set that up.
We didn't set it up that way, but
I
have to come back.
Yeah, this is really weird.
Get the bylaws.
If someone happens to not be available later, we can always come back and refill that spot with someone who's not available later. From this list is what I'm saying.
What's quorum?
For a third, for a second.
So I would go with John and then Pat.
No,
I have a question.
just, yeah,
Are you all considering alternates at all?
that's what we're just
We
talking
were
about.
just saying, we made the mistake when we created this at the board, we did not put alternates forward. That does not mean we cannot revisit that at the full board. Is there?
Because we have, right, we have to, when we submit these names, that's the same time that we will submit the bylaws, so there's time to do something.
Yeah, come back and add a couple of alternates.
So then
Maybe
we come
3
back to
alternates.
come back and add 3 alternates from this list that we already interviewed.
Yeah, but we'll still move forward with,
Yeah,
with the decision today.
Okay.
With the 13 you come up with today, and then we can always.
We could
come back.
hold another meeting, go back over who's interviewed or who's on that list.
Yeah.
Or just who's on the list.
Select a couple of alternates that way.
Question, so can you set it up so that the alternates are also present at the meeting, but they don't have voting ability?
That's how it
Oh,
will
yes.
work, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Unless
Someone is-
a member is unavailable.
How many alternates would be appropriate for a 13 seat?
Question. Not sure.
Well, probably.
You want to avoid, well,
Having attorneys.
if it's an alternate, I mean, 3 could be enough. Because the idea being, you're never gonna have an even number no matter what.
Okay.
So if you had 3, but only one person can't make the meeting, whoever the designated alternate represents, you still have 13 for the vote. So I wouldn't get too worried about it.
Another question, so would you use the same thought process as the alternate will come from that particular district?
I would think we would pick 1, 3, and 5, and this is just my opinion, and I don't want to get too deep in a conversation about it because we didn't
Just a question.
agendize it. But I would think those 1, 3, and 5 would be where we would pull the alternates from, or at least that's what I would recommend if it came to action.
You prefer to do that later, because we can edit the bylaw.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you had a comment about NAACP representation, is there?
Yeah, so I'm just looking towards Peter and Kendra, because I thought that's how I had several people ask me about this, is how it was written. Does it mean that you only can select one person from that organization? Or it doesn't matter? And I thought it was one person from that organization, so.
We don't have a hard.
You got some people who didn't apply because they thought like, oh, well, it's some of us. I know someone who's part of this organization, so I'm not gonna apply.
We don't have a hard and fast rule to like a specific number from each, but that was, yes, your understanding was kind of the general understanding as we're moving forward. Because there's only 13 seats and we got a lot of great talented folks, interested folks.
But I'm happy to go either way. I'm just going by what you guys had written originally.
And then I think we also want to make sure the community feels like multiple voices and viewpoints are represented, right? Because we're trying to build a wider, so that was also one of the reasons we, that's one of the reasons we said that also.
Now I'm happy to go with whomever you want and district two.
It's also like the interviews are gonna be, that they weigh in as well, what you felt you heard in the interviews too.
Right. So, it was shared that, if we were just looking at the executive leadership, right? That, Velma's not Velma, sorry, Pastor Harris not on executive leadership. And, Yvette, are you on executive leadership?
Yeah.
Yes, okay, so she's on executive leadership. She's in your district though, she's not in my district.
We just want to make sure we have a clear appearance of, diversity of opinions and, okay, based on, and I'm just gonna go.
If you're going by,
Natty, okay. Yeah, I think,
oh yeah, the Nigerian
Yeah.
cultural community.
So there's some of that, plus their education, background, work experience, and engagement in the community, and it does kind of overlap, because a lot of the work they do. So
Yeah, we have a large Nigerian population out
very
east, Contra
connected to
Costa
Concord
County, as well in Concord, yeah.
All right,
So Nettie
yeah,
is the second from district.
yeah, you make this very hard. It's so much easier when you have 13 seats and 13 applicants. But again, it just shows the passion the community has for what we're trying to accomplish here. And I say us, the reality is the community is going to be the ones who bring it forward and make it happen. Really just an organizational and funding stream, right? So the work comes from our community and the community partners.
Okay, and then if we, figure out how many alternates that we would need, the names that are left unhighlighted, those would be the names that we will look at moving forward. Okay. All right.
It's the most stressful I've been.
I know, it's so stressful, it is. Don't be mad at us.
You.
We have some
Made it
other
hard for
boards and committees to get you
well,
all to serve on as well, and so I hope you all will be interested in serving on those in the future.
And I mean, just if it hasn't been made clear, all of the TCAP meetings are public. So we are hoping that even if you were not selected today, you will continue to be a part of the process by attending, offering your insight, offering your expertise through public comment. So yeah, we please consider continuing to be engaged, even if you weren't selected as the actual TCAP member today.
I just want to celebrate everyone that did make it, and I definitely will continue to do the same work I do and support all of you in your positions, period. Right. Great board.
Okay, so real quick,
Thank you for that, Yvette, I appreciate that.
we do need to open it for public comment, so. Yvette got to kick that off.
You did?
Is there any other public comment on this item? Jill,
I was just gonna add, because there was much discussion about districts, that this is a district-specific seat, that it's representing the entire county. So, I just wanted to just say it out loud. I know you two know that, but just so it's clear that these 13 individuals represent the entire county.
thank you.
Thank you.
Was there another hand back there? Oh, there. No?
I have,
Go ahead.
my, Pastor Ed Harris, my, question would you be open to a recommendation for 3 alternates? Just to move it forward and take that, because now, along with the statement that was just made, 3 alternates would always give us enough representation across the board. So that would be my recommendation.
And again, open public meeting, so it's date night for some. Feel pretty.
Yeah, please join us, and just to tag on to what you were saying is district-wide. That's why we were unable to do interviews last week, because we didn't have anyone from District 2. And Supervisor Carlson and I really wanted to make sure District 2 were represented on this board. So we were hoping to be able to select 2 from District 2 as well. But we only had one person apply.
I'm okay with that.
The standout.
But we do want to make sure you lean in and share with us what's going on in District 2, because we want those voices to be heard as well. And we're trying to support and represent all of Contra Costa County, so.
Were there any online public comments?
If anyone online has public comment, if you can raise your hand. Oh, yeah, someone does. Let me. Cheryl said it. Let's see, Cheryl, I'm going to promote you. The panelist, so you're able, so you can make a comment. Only from Cheryl. Cheryl, go ahead when you're ready.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I know that, thank you. I've been listening, and I'm certain that you guys have done all you can to solicit as many, as a diverse a group of applicants as possible. I guess my disappointment is in not seeing enough young Black men in the selection pool. So as you look at the bylaws for the alternates, I would ask that if there's any way to look at it for having young men, young students somehow included in this mix, and make an intentional effort to include, 2, 3, one from each of the impacted districts or the districts of interest on this board. I would ask that that be included in this rewrite of the bylaws, and that one from each one of those districts be included, a young person, especially a young Black male and a young Black female from every district, and that at least half of them be young Black males, and that intentionality be there, because it is disappointing that that none of these people are in that category, and those are the ones that we see promulgated the need for this wellness center in the first place. Es todo. Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you. You gotta help us recruit, Cheryl.
I'll do what I can if it is what you need.
All right, with that, I'll bring it back. I guess we need to take action. We've selected, I would recommend we move this forward for board approval for the creation of the TCAB, and I know we need to get it on the agenda. I think the closing date is close to that, so we want to move forward. Yes, all in favor?
Aye.
Very good. Yeah. All right, real quick, we'll circle back to item 1, which is to receive and approve our record of action from our September 29th meeting. I had no changes, adjustments, or anything else. I'm happy to move forward.
I approve. I second to move them forward.
Any public comment on our minutes from our September 29th meeting? All right, seeing none, then we will adjourn to our next regularly scheduled meeting.
October 20th, 9:30 a.m.
Wait,
10:30.
What'd I say?
10:30.
10:30, I'm sorry.
What'd I say? I was like, wait.
Wonderful. Again, thank you all for your engagement, participation, application, interview. It's painful, I know, but so thank you so much.
Thank you.